housing management and operations. Group 3.
We'll talk about housing management and opportunities, and I will make it super easy to get. First, let's check the definition. What is housing management and opportunities? It means we manage and run different housing in careful and efficient way. Those housing include communication house and cheap house of people in need, and apartments you can rent. We do its work from the time the house is built, unit is no longer used. Why do we do this? We want to keep the housing safety and people's life better, that make the houses stand available and meet what the people who live the restaurants and the people who run the houses. It's like taking care of a big family house to make sure everyone live happily and the house is always in good shape. Okay, now let's look at the explanation. This part talks us more about the work. Housing management and opportunities is about watching and managing house. We talk about the communication house, a affordable house for this welfare life. We have 4 key jobs here. First, keep the houses safe. Safety is the most important thing for people live there. 2, making living better, like fixing broken things quickly, keeping the neighborhood clean. 3rd, make the houses more valuable so the house owners become wealthier. 4th, meet the needs of both second and obtuse. Want to live comfortable, opportunists want to run the places well, and we need to balance there. Final, let's see the summary. This is the most important part of housing management and opportunities, and what people need when we live there. First, how do we build the bridge with 4 simple things? Flexing and taking care of the houses, like meaning a book table all available. Safe, helping restaurants with problems like always their questions. Obtrusion, running the neighborhood well, like management parking or garbage. The last one is keeping the neighborhood safe, like having grants or cameras. When those 4 things work together, great things happen. Restaurants and happy opticians can make money, and the housing area stay in good order. Also, this work helps the whole housing make growth healthy. To finish up, housing management and opportunities is just about taking good care of housing around town. Make sure everyone lives safely and happily, and keeping the housing made to well is a job cares those our daily life. And the final, let's see the summary. The point to the side field. This is the most important part of the opportunities. like bridge and a voice and what people want to do live. Okay, this a job that close our daily life.
Hello everyone. Have you ever wondered what question people have about their homes? Let's look at 5 common ones. First question: can I fix up my apartment? Yes, you can, but you usually need to ask for permission first. This is to make sure the charges are safe for everyone. Second question: what if I don't like the service? If you're not happy with service, you can tell the management office, which is called GMB or MC. They are there to help solve your problems. Third question: how much is the maintenance fee? The maintenance fee is the money you pay each month to keep the building nice and clean. It's calculated based on the size of your apartment. Fourth question: how do I get a loan to buy a house? To get a loan, you need to apply at a bank. The bank will check if you have enough money to pay it back. If yes, they will give you the loan. Fifth question: is it risk to buy a house that's still being built? Yes, there are some risks. The house might not be finished on time, or the quality might not be as good as expected. Now, let's look at 3 successful stories from Malaysia. Story 1: government and companies working together. In Selangor, estate workers didn't have proper homes for 27 years. The government joined hands with a private company called Berjaya Group. The company gave free land, and together they built 235 new houses. Now, about 1,215 people have a safe place to live. This is showed teamwork can solve big problems. Story 2: special fund for old building. On Penang Island, many old apartment buildings had problems like broken pipes and elevators, but they didn't have enough money to fix them. So the local government created a special stratified fund. This fund gives free loans to fix the urgent problems. Now the buildings are safer for people to live in. Story 3: professional help for overseas owners. Many people from other countries buy houses in Malaysia. To help them, there are special companies that take care of their properties. These companies find good tenants, collect rent, and even fix things when they break. Some of them have a pass to owners can check on their homes anytime from anywhere in the world. In conclusion, buying and owning a house comes with many questions, but there are also many good examples and helpful services in Malaysia to make things easier. Thank you for your listening.
For this slide, I want to talk about the main goal of housing. Housing is not only about having a place to live, but also about living well. A good home should give people safety, comfort, and a better life. There are four main goals shown here. The first one is affordability, which means people from different income levels should be able to afford a stable home. The second is sustainability. This means using green buildings, saving energy, and helping communities grow in a long-term way. The third goal is inclusiveness. Housing should care about vulnerable groups such as elderly people and people with disabilities so that everyone can live with dignity. The last goal is a high-quality life. That includes good facilities, useful service, and peaceful communities. Together, these goals show that housing is not just about buildings, but also about people's daily life. This slide compares different housing models from different countries. First is the market-driven model, such as in the US. In this model, housing is treated more like a product, and the government mainly helps through subsistence. Second is the social housing model. Like in Singapore, the government plays a strong role by planning, building, and managing housing to make sure most people can own a home. Third is cooperative housing model, which is common in some Europe countries. In this model, residents work together to build and manage their home. They focus more on community fairness and long-term living. These examples show that different countries use different ways to solve housing problems based on their own social needs. This slide shows two success housing cases. First is Singapore. Singapore is known for its housing for all system. The government controls most parts of public housing, from planning to management. They also have strict rules to reduce speculation and support racial integration. New housing areas are new planned, with schools, hospitals, and transport nearby. Old housing areas are also renovated regularly. The second case is Germany. Germany focuses more on return housing and tenant protection. They have rent control places to stop rent from rising too fast. Tenants also has strong legal protection, so they can live long time without fear of being forced out. Germany also supports cooperative housing, where residents manage housing together. These two cases show different paths, but both aim for stability and fairness. This slide explains how housing can be managed, where the first pillar is law and regulation. Clear rules about property rights and safety standards are very important. For example, the Housing Act in the UK clearly defines what a safe home is. The second pillar is professional property management. This includes cleaning, security, and daily maintenance. Transparency in money use is also important, so residents knew where their funds go. The third pillar is technology. New tools like apps, online payment, and smart monitoring systems make housing management faster and easier. BIM technology also help manage buildings over a long time. The fourth pillar is community participation. Residents should have a voice through committees or associations. This helps solve problems, build trust, and create a better living environment. This slide talks about global trends in housing. First is greening. Green building standards like LED is becoming more common, help save energy and protect the environment. Second is intelligence. Technologies like the Internet of Things and AI are now used in housing, such as smart lighting and security systems. Third is age-friendly design. As the population gets older, home is being designed to be safer and easier for elderly people to use. The last trend is precision. Housing management is moving from simple development to more detailed and service-focused operation. All these trends show that housing is become smarter, greener, and more people-centered.
Good day, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about how housing works in Malaysia. It's a big topic. First, let's look at the certain situation. Malaysia has a national housing policy, NHP for short. The main goals of this policy is to make sure everyone has a safe and affordable place to live. To make this happen, two main groups are involved. The Ministry of Housing and Local Government, also known as KPKT. Their job is to create the rules and make sure everything runs properly. The National Housing Corporation, or SPNB, they are the ones who actually build and manage the government's public housing. So it's like a team. One group makes the plan and the other group builds it. Now, let's talk about public housing. This is housing built by the government to help people who need it. The main manager here is SPNB, which we mentioned earlier. Their core responsibility include taking direct care of public housing areas, making sure the rent prices are fair and controlling who gets to rent the units, providing basic things that everyone needs, like clear water, electricity, and other important facilities. This ensures that even people with lower incomes can have a decent place to live. Next, let's look at private housing, like apartments or gated communities. Here, the management is a bit different. Two types of groups take care of this place. Joint management bodies, management corporations. These are professional companies. Their main jobs are taking care of the common areas like gardens or playgrounds that everyone uses. Collecting money called the maintenance fees from the people who live there. Helping to solve any problems or disagreements that residents may have. There are different types of private housing. Let's first look at high-end housing. This is usually more expensive. The service here is very good. For example, they have a 24-hour security system. They offer extra facilities like games, swimming pools, or clubhouses. The management is very professional and use international standards. They are open about their fees, so you know exactly what you are paying for. This kind of housing is mainly for people with higher incomes. Now, let's look at middle and low-cost housing. This housing is for people with average or lower incomes. The services here are more basic. They provide essential things like cleaning and fixing things that break. However, the quality of this service can be inconsistent. This means sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not. The main goal is to provide a basic, foundational home at a price that most people can afford. Of course, managing all this housing is not always easy. There are some big challenges. Two main challenges are: first, inconsistent standards. Sometimes the people who manage the properties are not very professional. This can lead to arguments between residents and the people who own the buildings. 2. Maintenance issues. Many public housing areas are getting old. Things like lifts, pipes, and the water system break down. The biggest problem is that there is often not enough money set aside to fix these things properly. But it's not our problem. The future looks bright because we are using new technology to make housing better. This is called smart communities. In Malaysia, we are starting to use innovative solutions like smart access control, which means using a card or your phone to get into your building instead of the key. Digital maintenance request, so you can report a problem using an app instead of calling or visit the office. The last is round-the-clock security patrols. All these things make living in this community easier and safer. Finally, the government is also taking action to improve housing for everyone. Thank you for your listening.
I'm going to talk about key organizations that support housing management and operation. Housing management is important because it affects people's daily life. Good housing management can improve safety, comfort, and living quality. Many organizations have to improve housing settings at different levels. I will talk about these organizations in 4 parts: international organizations, regional organizations, Malaysian organizations, and research institutions. First, I will introduce international organizations. The first organization is UN Habitat. UN Habitat is a part for the United Nations. Its main goal is to support sustainable cities and good housing for everyone. UN Habitat helps the countries make housing and urban policies. It also does research on affordable housing and housing rates. In addition, it provides training and teaching help for housing management. The second organization is International Union for Housing Finances, or IUHF. IUHF brings together housing finances and housing management groups from many countries. It helps improve professional skills and international cooperation in housing finances and housing operations. The third organization is the Housing and Urban Development Foundation, or HUD Foundation. This organization supports fair housing, sustainable development, and better housing operation standards. It works to improve housing management quality in many countries. Next, I will talk about the regional organizations. The first one is the Asian Coalition for Housing Rights, or ACHR. ACHR works in Asian countries. It supports community participation in housing projects. It also promotes public housing and social housing programs. ACHR believes that local people should join housing management and decision making. Another regional organization is Housing Europe. Housing Europe represents public and social housing providers. In Europe, it promotes good housing management, green buildings, and inclusive housing policies. This helps improve housing quality in European cities. Now, I will talk about housing organizations in my sphere. The first one is the National Housing Department, or GPN. GPN is under the Ministry of Local Government Development. GPN is responsible for public and affordable housing in my sphere. It makes housing policies and management standards. It also checks housing operation efficiency. The second organization is PR1MA. PR1MA provides affordable housing for middle-income people. It supports housing project management and housing operation after construction. The third organization is the IHDA. IHDA represents housing developers in my sphere. It supports policies, improvement, sustainable development, and better housing quality. Another important organization is SPNB. SPNB supports government housing program. It works on housing construction management and maintenance. The last Malaysia organization is MIPFM. MIPFM supports professional training and certification in property and housing management. It helps improve skills for housing management workers. The last part is research and non-government organizations. One example is Malaysia Institute of Planners. This organization does research on housing and urban development. Its research helps the government make better housing policies. Another important organization is the World Bank Housing and Urban Development Program. The World Bank provides research. The World Bank provides research funding and technical support. It helps countries improve housing management, settlements, and urban operations. In conclusion, housing management and operation are supported by many organizations. International organizations give global support, regional organizations share experience, and cooperation might share organizations management housing at the national level. Research institutions support better decisions. All these organizations work together to improve housing quality and people living conditions. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.